We've saved a space in the time machine for you and fur-lined the seats. It's true, your favorite scene bands were extolling the virtues of, say, Fastball or Semisonic. But beyond that, there was a tidal wave of joyous noise under the surface. These are the bands from the 90s you never heard of. And it's a damn shame. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to APTV and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. And check out the link in the description to the Spotify playlist featuring all of the songs on this list. 10 bands from the 90s you never heard, and it's a damned shame. Number 10, Belter Space. New Zealand trio Belter Space hit all the sweet spots in the world's underground. After releasing several records in their homeland, the band moved to New York City and completely ratcheted up the extremity. Menacing riffs, commanding vocals, and both guitar noise and samples were their stock in trade. Projects from their 1994 release Fortura approximate Sonic Youth sniffing glue while playing through Dinosaur Jr.'s stolen amplifiers. You may also want to check out the live version from their retro EP, unless, you're a coward. Number 9, Boredoms. Boredoms hailed from Osaka, Japan, with an aesthetic that completely embraced chaos. If you ever wondered how twisted and fractured rock could get while still being semi-linear, you should get to streaming. Lead singer Yamantaka Ai had a gnarlier scream than 4/5 of the bands who played on Warped Tour. Oh, and as far as lyrics go, you can make up your own. Think of Ai as another instrument. Nirvana had them open dates on their In Utero tour, and the Japanese delegation polarized the crowds magnificently. When Boredoms signed to Warner Records, the company allegedly sent out more promotional copies of their first release, Pop Tatari, than actual store stock. Who cares? You wish you would have bought one. Number 8, Chavez. Chavez founder Matt Sweeney is so connected, he can play 6 degrees of separation with your music library. He's done stints with Queens of the Stone Age, Iggy Pop, Billy Corgan, Josh Groban, and tons more. But he may always be known for the last song on 1996's Ride the Fader. You Must Be Stopped is quite simply the alt-rock masterpiece that never happened. Sweeney's Gen X angst vocal rides on a meaty harmonic riff, with drummer James Lowe driving it all. Number 7, The God Machine. This trio of expat San Diegans snuck over to the UK and made jaws drop with their 1993 debut, Scenes from the Second Story. The God Machine understood that you can generate tension with decibel levels and slow motion minimalism. The tremolo song is stentorian in both its power and its sadness. Guitarist and vocalist Robin Proper Shepherd sets his tremolo pedal to wound while barking his invective. The song is from their second and final album, 1994's One Last Laugh in Place of Dying. Sadly, bassist Jimmy Fernandez passed from a cerebral hemorrhage during the mixing. In tribute to their friend, Proper Shepherd and drummer Austin Lynn Austin kept those mixes for the final album. Number 6, Kinky Machine. Kinky Machine hailed from West London. We never heard them saddled with the term Britpop, like most of their millionaire contemporaries were. Shockaholic is a sweet slice of 70s glam swagger, with some Sex Pistol snottiness and a weird synth squiggle for flavor. Shockaholic remains great at top volume in a convertible or echoing in the lobby of the bank you're robbing after hours. Number 5, Mercury Rev. In some parallel universe, the song Young Man's Stride is bigger than Nevermind. Mercury Rev formed in Buffalo, New York, with a neo-psychedelic blend that was trippy, semi-pastoral, and volume dealing. After 2 albums with frontman David Baker, guitarist Jonathan Donahue assumed center mic position for 1995's See You on the Other Side, and unleashed this burner. The Revs still exist under the aegis of Donahue and guitarist Sean McAwyack. Last year, they recorded their version of country pop songwriter Bobby Gentry's The Delta Suite with a cast of female singers. Number 4, Moonshake. British unit Moonshake were considered by many to be the premier post-rock band. They were one of the first bands to use samples in their inspired post-punk creations, when keyboards were the providence of industrial rock and dance music. Seen and not heard from their 1992 album Eva Luna is definitely none of those things, owing more to Public Image Limited than Ministry or CNC Music Factory. This one is cool and creepy, with frontman and guitarist Dave Callahan taking on a persona of a normal guy by day and complete maniac by night. Number 3, Skyscraper. Skyscraper's 1993 track Choke was a workout that was too propulsive to be considered grunge, too deranged for Britpop, and too concise for noise rock consideration. Skyscraper were a British indie supergroup consisting of members of Swerve Driver, Milk, and Octopus, who released 2 albums before calling it a wrap. Number 2, Wool. Brothers Pete and Franz Stahl were the founders of legendary Washington, D.C. punk band Scream. When Dave Grohl left to join Nirvana, the Stahls enlisted government-issue drummer Pete Moffat and bassist Al Block. Wool's 1992 EP, Bud Spawn, was noisy enough to appeal to the underground, but accessible enough to people who were proud of their first Jane's Addiction shirt. And number 1, Urusei Yatsura. In the late 90s, Scottish noise pop hopefuls Urusei Yatsura were holding court and tearing up the UK indie scene. When genres such as grunge and indie pop were becoming tired and cliched, Yatsura took the best elements of each. The result felt like a mound of fresh ginger to the brain. Hello Tiger was the pop song My Bloody Valentine wouldn't deliver, and the title track from their album, Slain by Urusei Yatsura, was funny in a hyperbolic way. But it didn't matter. In 1998, America was all up in Marcy Playground. And that was the kind of thing that really great bands from the 90s had to endure. Thanks for watching APTV. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel now to see all of our latest videos and updates.